And welcome back for another video. So I thought I'd do a quick video on my postpartum recovery just to let you guys know the experience that I had and everything that I went through, and also if you're thinking about what postpartum may be like for yourself or what it may include. Firstly, I'm going to show you my belly just to give you an idea of what my belly looks like currently. Zaylah is now 6 weeks. I will say though that I was wearing a postpartum belly wrap for the first 2 days and then I had to chuck it because it was just crap. The quality was really bad. But now I'm wearing a belly wrap, not belly wrap, I'm wearing a waist trainer. And I wear that every other day or every day, depends how I'm feeling. Some days I'll wear it, some days I won't. So moving on, I'm gonna talk about my perineum. So luckily I didn't tear and I didn't get an episiotomy, thank God. The doctor was quite keen on giving me a cut, but my husband and the midwife thankfully stopped her and I didn't get an episiotomy. So because I didn't tear or get an episiotomy, the recovery of my perineum was quite straightforward and easy and quite quick. The first time I went toilet, I was a bit worried, so I was on the toilet for ages. But when I did pee, it stung a little bit. It wasn't even that bad for maybe a few seconds, and then after that it was fine. It was just a bit swollen and I just felt like there was a balloon down there almost, but that was it. After a few days that swelling did go down. I did make a few padsicles. I made way too many padsicles. I only ended up using 2 or 3 padsicles because my perineum wasn't that sore, damaged or itchy, so I just didn't need them. I ended up throwing them away just because they weren't necessary. So staying on the topic of the vagina, I'm going to talk about the bleeding. I think it's called lochia or something like that. Anyway, but I only bled for a total of probably 4 to 5 weeks, and only 1 week of that was I bleeding very heavily. So bleeding for me went quite well. I was quite worried and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be bleeding for how many weeks now? But I wasn't heavy for majority of that. After about a week and a half, I was able to wear my normal pads, and then after that I went on to wearing panty liners. And one thing though that I didn't know, no one told me, was that the blood can smell. While I was pregnant, I did hear about cramping even after you give birth. And I was like, is that true? Because some people were telling me, no, it doesn't happen. Some people were telling me, yes, it did happen. For me, it did happen. So after I did give birth, there would be random times when I would just get a cramp, and they were quite strong. I wasn't expecting them to be that strong. And also while I was breastfeeding. So I'm there holding Zaylah, trying to breastfeed, and I'm getting this cramp, and I'm in so much pain. I'm trying to stay still because I'm breastfeeding her, and it was just a whole new experience. But I got through, and the cramps were they lasted for about 3 days at that strength, and then after that they did die down and they became less and less frequent. So the first few days you do only have colostrum, and it's not that much, but it's really good for the baby. Now because Zaylah was in neonatal, I didn't get to feed her as often as I wanted to. They were giving her formula up in neonatal, and every time I went up there they would allow me to breastfeed her. Now the first time she did latch on, she was amazing. It was more me. I didn't know how to hold her, didn't know how to position her head, but she latched on perfectly and she was sucking really well. So there was no problem there. But because the colostrum is only a little bit, they did advise me to top her up with some formula because she did have jaundice. So that's what we did. And then once we came home, once she was 3 days old, my milk did come in, thank God. Again, my boobs were fully engorged, and those days were so difficult. Like my boobs were so heavy and so full that when I woke up one morning, I had a pain in my rib, my back was hurting, and yeah, but it didn't last that long. It felt like they were gonna burst, but you know, we got through it and they didn't burst. So because she did latch on really well, I didn't get any sore nipples, any cracked nipples, bruising or anything like that. I don't know if it was because she latched on really well or because I was preparing my nipples before I'd given birth. So I was putting Magic Balm by Love Boo on my nipples every single day. In the milk breastfeeding department, it's been really well. Only thing that I can say is that I wish my breast milk supply was a bit more. I am making enough so that she's satisfied and she's feeding enough, she's putting on the right amount of weight, but I just wish that I had more of a supply so that when I'm pumping I could pump a bit more. On average in each session I do pump around 4 ounces. So a bit disappointing, but it's still good. I did start pumping when she was 4 weeks old because that's when they say that the breast milk has regulated. She did take a while to take the bottle. but she's great now, and I think it had to do with the teat. The teat wasn't fast enough, or the flow from the teat wasn't fast enough, so when she was sucking, not enough was coming out, so she was getting frustrated and she would just let go and start crying. But she has spent a day and a night at my mom's house, and she took the bottle like a champ, so she's just an amazing baby. So moving on to my mood, after I gave birth, I was pretty happy. I wasn't down or anything. I was happy, I was active. There will be some times during the first week where I was a bit down, but I wasn't down for multiple days at a time. Just certain times during the day I'll get down. There was one time when I broke down in tears. I was going to brush my teeth. It was quite late and I was quite tired, and I took the toothbrush head out of the toothbrush head container and it fell and broke, and I just burst out crying. I don't know if it was because it broke and I really liked it, or because there was so much things going on. There were so many things on my mind and it just all got a bit overwhelming. Now I still am quite happy. There are just some times when I do get a bit down, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know why I'm down, but then soon after that I might have a little moment. Soon after that I do pick myself up and I feel great again. So Zaylah is a really good girl when it comes to sleeping. During the night she would go a stretch of 6-7 hours. Now when she was younger she was doing the 4 hours, and that was really great, so it does give me a chance to catch up on my sleep. When we first took her home, I was waking up every 2 hours and feeding her. The midwife told me that it's not necessary to wake up that often, otherwise I'm gonna tire myself out. So I decided to go 4 hours, and she does that really well. I wake her up every 4 hours, she'll feed and she'll go straight back to sleep, so that's really good. When we first took her home, I was actually waking up early and I wasn't sleeping during the day, and they always recommend that you should sleep when the baby sleeps, but sleeping during the day was just a no-no, and then I'll get paranoid about waking up late and I'll get down on myself. But after a few days it did catch up on me and I needed to sort something out. So what I do now is that I wake up later, because it's really difficult for me to sleep during the day. So I just wake up later in the mornings, and it's really good. I feel so much better for it. One thing that no one told me about was the night sweats. I didn't realize that night sweats was possible after giving birth to a baby due to your hormones and just your body changing from when it was pregnant. So I was getting quite a few night sweats. Those have died down now, but they were quite annoying. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and my vest will be soaked, the bed sheets will be soaked, so I was changing the bed sheets so often. I'll have to wake up in the middle of the night, change my vest. So that was quite annoying, but luckily it's died down now. But I am exercising. I do try to go on a walk with Zaylah every day, but you know, some days I'm just tired and it ain't happening. But other than that, I'm doing my pelvic floor exercises. I'm doing, you know, just a little bit of exercise to get myself back to normal. So yeah, that is it for my postpartum update. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful and if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you've gone through anything else that I didn't mention during your postpartum recovery, and definitely subscribe for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys, stay sweet.